Okay, recording has started.
Good evening, everyone. It's 7:01, and I'll call the meeting to order. We have a quorum present with two absences, Ms. Otto and Ms. Landon. Going down the agenda here, approval of the minutes. If you all don't mind taking a look at the minutes, let us know there are any needed corrections, or if you all feel comfortable with taking them, feel free.
We already corrected the GDOT. Call to the meeting in that second line. That's already been removed. Let's just get removed from the thing.
Perfect, and that is updated on the formal copy, assuming everything.
Yes.
Are there any other requested amendments that we feel comfortable with draft? Okay, we have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Seeing a second, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes. Morgan, if you don't mind, I'm going to hand these to you for you to sign whenever you're ready. And Mary will be on her. All right, so that is complete. Item 3, citizens comment period. Are there any citizens in attendance wishing to speak? Seeing none, we'll close citizen comment period. Item 4, reports and presentation. Director's report, including updates on the following topics: facility, staffing, technology, upcoming projects, book module.
Hello, thank you all. My notes are attached if you wanted to take a look at those. And you do have a slide deck as well. So far, these seem to be the topics that I thought would be good to sort of my first official meeting to have had some input and direction and action. So facility wise, we're making opportunities is what I'd like to say, rather than a lot of movement of furniture or changes. We're creating more optimal placement of items, such as we have the new modular furniture. I don't know if you saw it while you were in there. It's beautiful. People are using it. I think there was 3 or 4 people sitting there. And we moved some comfortable seating around for small groups. And it's being utilized. We moved some of the quiet room around, and we're going to be using that more for some office space. And we moved some of the historical things slowly but surely into that center room. So the study carols came out and they're being utilized, and we just ordered lamps for those. Mm-hmm. We are going to order electric plugs for the modulars, because there's the floor plugins, but not something where we're used to in booths or that kind of cafe feel. So we are going to add those, so those are more accommodating. One seems to want to charge their phone or plug in their laptop. The teen computers are being moved, I believe, tomorrow. So we'll have a teen computer area, and then some other public computers will be moved, so that our technology is more in one central location versus spread out, excuse me. And then there are no public computers that will be on that back wall anymore. So therefore, everyone is, again, more centralized. And we are exploring noise buffers. We've got some fun ideas to kind of drop down from the ceiling to absorb some noise, some panels to drop down as well, and then items that go on the wall that they look more like art, but they are actually absorbing sound. So Jessica and I have been hard at work looking at color palettes of fun. So it should be interesting. Yeah. We are excited about it. Everyone that walks into my office, like, what are these? We're not used to seeing fun little pieces of colored foam around. So as far as staffing, Jessica had already been working hard about reorganizing the org chart and looking at more of roles and responsibilities aligning with their job descriptions. So that's happening, and it's been updated as we move towards some different allocation of staff space as well. We're more of our librarian and specialists that present our programs are more in like a cluster area where they are able to bounce ideas off of each other and have their resources right there together versus in several different locations. And then tech support and tech services being more aligned in one place so that all of those items and products and that type of work is happening all in the same area as well. So those actually, that all starts tomorrow with the move and the Ethernet for Jessica to make the first move. And it's sort of a sliding doors below. Technology, we went to council and our security cameras were approved. So that's moving forward. Those contracts are being signed and we'll start to see movement on that right away. That includes 22 cameras and panic buttons as well. So we are moving forward with state-of-the-art security inside and out of the library. Excited about that. And then we're looking at our makerspace that once the movement happens, that becomes the office that Jessica was in, that now I am in, will become the makerspace. We have 2 3D printers that we have a little staff team that are learning and creating protocol and procedures for the rest of the staff to learn, and the safety and security of that and how we offer that. It's a fee involved in that. And so they're looking at all of the details to offering a makerspace. It will be small to begin, but we'll grow on that. We have to start somewhere. And it just so happened we already had 2 3D printers that were tucked away over here. And so we got those out, and we'll have the Cricut, some die cuts, and then we'll just grow from there. But we're excited about that. And then we are cleaning up our patron and item records and our ILS as well. So just some housekeeping to move forward to potentially think about a new ILS in the future. Upcoming, our budget was approved and we will be seeking out the master plan that already has been put into motion with purchasing, filling out the paperwork for that. We received information back from 3 different companies, and so we move forward with that as well. Excited about that, and you will all receive much more information about that once we sign that contract and we move forward with all the many elements of a master plan. It's very exciting for us. It tells us where our future path lies. Let's see. Policy packets. So we have been, it sounds like you all have been working on policies a little bit one at a time. We met with Amber and Brian, and they suggested that we streamline and we work on a group as a whole, more of a packet, and this team work on those. Then we bring Joy in to kind of be part of that as well, because you are our liaison. And then when we think we're ready, we'll present them to you, take any edits, adjustments into consideration, and then the entire packet will go to council all at once versus one at a time or one every other time. They prefer that we take them all at once to be approved. And by then, maybe some other changes will be ready to be added, such as the 3D printer, something like that. So we are exploring those. The team has had some great feedback. They're looking at other resources. What I encouraged everyone to do and what I did is I printed all of our comparison city policies and looking at what do our neighbors do and libraries like us, and then how did we also either look at how we should be unique or how we should follow in suit as well. So. And then let's see. Carpet, shelving, and painting. We are obtaining quotes on that as well. And those are more samples, beautiful color samples that are in my office as well. So what we did is they dropped off many samples And Jessica and I looked at a high price and then a low price, more efficient pricing, so that we could see what is the difference between. We're not making any kind of contract on either one, but we wanted to see, is this the difference between $1,000 or $10,000? And so we're looking at the extremes of the high end and the more efficient, cost efficient and effective. And so we'll let you know how that goes. And then the shelving with the floor plan will be adjusted as well when we do that new carpet. So it is a huge project. Georgetown, I believe, is going through it right now, and they're doing theirs in sections of the library. Some libraries close for a week and just do it all, and other libraries decide to do sections. This room would be one of the easy ones to do, especially at holiday when we're on like a program break and some of the offices, but the main library area will be a large undertaking. So that's exciting though. Let's see.
Event software.
Event software, we are looking at that, but the more we are delving into that, it looks like a new ILS might include that as well. So how do we help promote our programs beyond something that's just like our program, printed program that's the same, but something more interactive, so that if you're on a calendar and you click, it'll take you right to the definition, age, all the specifics, but it's more interactive, more robust. So there are several ILSs that include that. In fact, San Marcos is changing theirs this fall. New Braunfels is also changing their ILS this fall. So,
Can you define ILS for me?
integrated library system. That is everything I always call it the brains of the software of checking in and out, overdue fines,
The collection.
collection overall, the catalog, just sort of like anything that has to do with you checking in and out with a library card is the ILS system. But it can be so much more than that. It can be integrated into the programs. It can be integrated into the databases, into the ebooks. And you want something that's more robust so that it's almost like, it's not one-stop shopping, but it will say, if you search for something, it will tell you so much. So example would be music. You just are real generic music. You're going to get our books of all ages on music, any databases that might include anything that has to do with music, including sheet music. You're going to get ebooks on that topic. You will receive a result that says, oh, we offer music classes, music instruments to check out. It just rolls our entire system and will populate those results, which is beautiful, because maybe you didn't know we had ukuleles and now you want to check a ukulele out. So that is more along the lines of what we would want that software to do, not just the programming for just not program. And then the bookmobile, I gave you some exact specifications of that bookmobile. It's a Mercedes Sprinter. The unit price funded completely by friends. What a generous gift. We're so excited. The interior designs were decided this week.
Yeah.
And it took 40 minutes. No time at all. They allotted 4 hours.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we did it on Teams, which traditionally, once we started communicating with them, they said, well, normally everyone comes to us and does this. And we're like, okay, well, it'd take us a day to get to Columbus and a day to do this. And then they said people usually fly back the next day. So we're like 3 of us for 3 days. Let's see if we can't do this. And we did it.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful.
We basically all had like very similar choices, so that helped. We looked at it independently, and then we came together, and I was like, oh, thank goodness that we are all gravitating.
And then we
towards the
started
same stuff.
changing our minds, but like Jesus would like something I had said, but then I liked something more Jessica said. So, but we still landed. And then even though we had a few things picked out,
Mhm.
as they were holding other pallets up, we were like, oh, well, we do like that. And then they would show us other bookmobiles. And then we did adjust a tiny bit at the end, because it was great to see not just, like your paint chip. it was in a bookmobile. And so that was, it was really beautiful how it all kind of came
Yeah.
together and just one
Right.
more step towards, and now it's in production, metalwork and cabinetry's happening.
Yeah.
And we are still on track for mid-December. They do not deliver. We have to go get it. And so we're still going to Columbus either way. But,
Really loved it there.
They do, but on the backside, we're working on the insurance, the title, all the work we need to do, the maintenance and fuel, things like that on the other side of what we need to do to make sure we are ready for it on to go. Probably will still not launch it until February, though. We are looking at potential names and acronyms for it, and that has to do with our next topic of logo as well. So any questions about what I covered?
Will you get any mock-ups or they're just running into production without?
I think we will get some mock-ups. It sounded like we would, and then we took photos of our choices and they wrote them down, and then they said they would write them down. But if we get some, we'll absolutely share them. Absolutely. What we try to do is stay kind of conservative with the selection so that the books and the programming inside are the pop of color. So we didn't go crazy with teal and yellow and orange and red, but what we did is we stayed really subdued and clean lines and products that clean easily and wear and tear. Everything they had would withstand people coming in and the rubs and the traction and just basic use, but that the books will make what we want people to look at, the programming that we'll offer in there. So we'll do our pops color with that. As far as the logo, so when we looked at our logo, the past one with the dots, it was created in 2015 by a library staff member. There was really the intent was to use on shirts, media, and flyers. And then it just sort of stuck. But that's exactly what it was. We're just this purple, teal, and blue with the initials. And the staff said that they found that people were confused with what it was, a KLP, KPL. And so we looked at what should we do, especially given this bookmobile. It gave us an opportunity. So we talked to the communications department and said, surprise us. We gave them no guiding thoughts. And so what they did is also, I want to mention that having a separate logo is very common for a library. Libraries, EDC, and parks often have separate logos than the city logo. And we did look at our comparison cities, and several also have a separate logo. So this is not groundbreaking by any means. So option one is the characteristics are vibrant, energetic, and optimistic. And the communications department, specifically Xander, did an awesome job of putting these on materials. So it wasn't just we're looking at a flat logo, but we're able to see what's that look like on a card, a tote, some flyers. And then option two, relaxed, soft, and proud. If we can go back to one, though, I do want to say really quickly that those are books, open books, opening to the sky. And number two is the water tower with a book as its base, with those as well placed on tote and library card. And then option three, more of almost a filigree, something classic, but also modern, textural, bright. So what we asked was that the communications department edit option one slightly. We felt that the books, then the city logo, then the KPL, and then the title was busy. So what we said is that could you just take out the KPL, and this is what we have is this final one. And the staff overwhelmingly loved it. I took it to some other leadership in town and they too were excited about that one. The font pairs well with the city font of Montserrat. It has similar forms. And so what that's nice is we're not going too far off what we already have with our city. So they match slightly, but yet have our own flavor, if you will. And then the logo of the books, creating a rising sun in negative space, and the optimism and the bright atmosphere, and just that it's a visual cue with those books that this is about the library. And of course, internally with the bookmobile group, we're like, oh, we could put that around the doorknob and on the front, and people just start really associating with this open book concept of no end, no ending, just open and bright. And the yellow does not show well as printing, but it is not a bright blinding yellow. It's just a really nice yellow, and the blue is very much like the blue of the city logo, just sort of a rich, calming blue. So option 1 is that we proceed with the logo, and option 2 is to provide some feedback. It is. It is.
I think the second one looks like a spaceship.
Yes, I'm glad you said it on your own because they were like, it's a beam coming up, and yes, that came up over and over again. And Xander didn't see it till we said it, and then he said he couldn't.
Didn't see it.
But it's very clever as is.
Yeah, all of them are.
Third one reminds me of old libraries with the wooden shelves. Very
Yeah.
sedate, very not us.
That's why it's kind of that old fashioned filigree, even though he thought it looked more modern. It reminded me of
1800s building.
doilies and.
I agree.
Any other thoughts?
So is the choice already made that is the bottom one, or are you asking us for our opinion on all 4?
So I think I did ask that we are asking that this one be approved with the modifications. But if you want to go back and we look at the others and reanalyze, we can do that. It is, with your approval, we'll go to council next Tuesday. Because we want to move forward so that the bookmobile receives our new graphics as well.
I know I personally, of the 3 options, loved the first one the most. I thought that was the best. And I
Yes.
agree that the modifications streamlined it. It's still fresh, vibrant, energetic, youthful, but yeah, I like that. That's fourth option. Even the other one.
We just thought it was redundant. It's, yeah, so we
We
can
really
call
don't
it that.
refer to ourselves as KPL, and no one really, I don't know, we don't really refer to ourselves as KPL internally.
That's what I did. I walked around to staff and said, do we call ourselves that? And overwhelmingly, because several people who have worked at Austin do call it APL. And that's what some of the staff said, is some of the other libraries do go by that, but I didn't see us doing it. So it just natural, was an easy thing to remove.
I don't know that I hear public in KPL. Like,
No, I'm surprised about how many times we saw it in policy. because
it wasn't.
I have a question. So, option 1 doesn't have like the extra gradient for the pages, but in the updated one it does. Is that also part of the paper?
No, it's part of the, it just didn't transfer over as well. So it's there.
I didn't print.
It did not
print
print well. And I think that it's there, but again, the printing, it's just ever so slightly yellow.
It's a little,
It's tiny, and we made sure when we put it on here, and Xander did say he cleaned it up so that it was very concise pages versus, it was a little blurry, and it was a different yellow.
Oh, yes, it's not anything.
It's more orange.
I think
Absolutely.
they mimicked one You can tell it's a book versus like spotlights or.
It's fine.
Usually, when we're working with logos, it's like this, where we mock up a black and white. So I think that would probably be helpful for y'all in terms of printing and things like that, for him to make this version of this.
Okay,
Yeah, to have the all, what's the automatic color, like the print color, the grayscale version, or
perfect.
single
Okay.
color version for printing. It's never gonna look this good if you print it on automatic ink.
Mhm, mhm. True. But a lot of what this will go on is professional, like shirts or brochures and, yeah, banners, all that. We'll make sure, thank you for bringing that up, that we'll make sure that that's paid special attention to it, like the vector files.
Does that mean that you will also be updating cards and all of that?
And we're ready to order cards. We're waiting for this. So I think we we had an
have enough.
inventory and we have enough. We were ready to order and we said, let's wait till we have this and we'll get some staff shirts and just slowly, we won't throw anything away. Rather, we'll do a big reveal, if you will, and then slowly cards, staff apparel, brochures, letterheads, easy, business cards, those will kind of incrementally add.
And I think I've been hearing there's other ideas on rebranding citywide for the departments too, and it might be a good timing to release together and.
Branding, though,
leading
not
the
the
way.
city logo, right? The city logo is in this logo. They're not gonna change that, right?
It's Parks and Rec and EDC, I believe, are,
In the book, in the front.
Yeah, when we were looking at it, one thing we did tell Xander is we really want to keep the city logo somehow in our logo, so. Not that the water tower wasn't really cool.
But it was a little UFO.
It would be good for.
All right, so I think I hear consensus. If so, I would move to recommend option 1 as amended by staff to the city council for approval. Thank you. Motion and a second. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, motion carried unanimously.
thank you all. Fun. It was very fun to do.
And so with that, that brings us down to the end of the agenda. And if there's no other business, I want to thank you all. This is my last time as chair. I'm terminated it out. I will not do this again next year. So reminder, no matter what happens, we have to pick a new chair next month. But you have been a pleasure to work with. Thank you for your confidence. It's been very easy and fun. So thank you.
Thank
And
you.
Jessica, you've done a great job too. During all the turnover and changes you've done.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's been fun working with y'all. I will still be attending these meetings.
Wonderful. There's been so much transition.
You did a
And your attention to procedure.
second to none.
All right. So if there's no other business, is there a motion to adjourn? There's been a motion. Is there a second?
Okay.
Please take a second. All in favor? Any opposed? It is 7:29 and will be adjourned.
Enjoy your name badges.
Yay.
We,
Let's
We were-
see.